So in one of our recent video, we talked about blockchain smart contract, how it is removing the word called trust from the whole equation. So back in old days, we used to trust people who are in our tribe. And then when the communities grew, they wanted institution, so we started to trust institutions, offline institutions like bank and church and whatnot. And then in this day and age, we trust applications like Zomato and Uber. So we go to a city like Bangalore, we completely trust a stranger who's riding a car, but because we rely on Uber, right? We are ready to eat at any hotel. We have never tried it before, but we are ready to eat it because we rely on Zomato. So trust is a very important aspect or element in every business right now. But when you look at blockchain and smart contract, when you look at DeFi, we don't have to trust the system. The trust, we say that the trust is encoded into the system, right? But in the traditional system, if you look at it, we do trust the banks, but the banks and everything is managed by humans, right? But if there is an issue happening, we can go to the bank and ask them, okay, now this is happening, how can we solve it, right? But if you look at the DeFi space, there is nobody to help us because there is no middleman. So I mean, this question is very important because I want to know, are we ready for the world without the traditional system? And if we are ready, then how DeFi can truly replace the system without the trust and all these elements, how it is even
All
possible?
right. In my opinion, first of all, completely replacing centralized system with decentralized is not possible. I don't see it happening in the near future because there are a lot of reasons for it. I think first, the most practical and humane reason out of it is it is such a technical savvy
Correct.
field or a structure or ecosystem, and everybody around the world does not have it. People are used to traditional banks, physical buildings, going in, seeing their money. Not everything can be digital when it comes to money. So it is, I think we are a long way from, when we have completely replaced traditional banks or buildings. And at the same time, another thing is there are a lot of systems in Web3 or DeFi which work on a centralized principle. For example, there is something called DAOs, which are decentralized autonomous organization. You can call it another name for community in Web3, because community is at the core.
Where each and everyone has the power to contribute to the system.
Right. And how they do that, there is a system called governance forum,
Okay.
sort of a voting mechanism. So the people, like everybody there is CEO of the company.
Okay.
So they will decide what happens next with our protocol. Do we integrate with this? Do we give grants to this project? Do we take this step? Like the decision that a CEO has to make, that is distributed among the people. Now how that happens is, for that particular protocol, they hold the tokens. The tokens to that particular protocol, the more number of tokens you hold to that particular protocol, the more autonomy you have to make decision, and your decision will be valued more in that protocol. And why is this? Because this just shows that you are in this protocol since long. Like if there's a new member of the DAO and he or she has less coins, then it makes sense that his decision should be less valued than the people who are already there. Now, for this ecosystem, like this governance forum to work, can we truly rely on the decision of the whole community? I mean, people can play abuse of money here.
Correct.
That, we can just hold more number of tokens and vote for a certain direction that the community doesn't want to.
Yeah.
So here has to be a centralized, I can say, authority that at the end determines what is the direction and what is the correct procedure for governance forum.
Okay.
So, when it comes to adaptability, adoption, and can we truly replace banks with DeFi, I'd say we'll have to pick out a middle way, which is centralized finance approach for cryptocurrency exchanges. Where you do have AML, that is anti-money laundering procedures, and KYC, know your customers, and it is all working in a decentralized way.
Correct.
So a lot of centralized exchanges, which we call like Binance, CoinSwitchCuber, WazirX, they're all centralized. So they provide you with a customer service. Why? Because there's a central authority maintaining it, but the structure is decentralized. You are still trading crypto. Still there are nodes, validators, and block transaction, all that happening. So I think we'll have to take out a middle way here. And also coming to it, in terms of talking infrastructure wise, there are a lot of protocols calling themselves decentralized, but they're using centralized stacks to build the technical system. A very famous example for it is AWS. So AWS is, cloud storage, helps you build the technical stack. A lot of protocols are using that. So in that case, are we truly decentralized? No, we are still using a centralized system. AWS is owned by Amazon. If Amazon shuts down, or if there's downtime, that protocol could stop, right? And there's downtime. So there are, I'd say, advancement in terms of decentralized cloud storage. A lot of protocols coming out with, alternate decentralized versions of AWS.
Correct.
So there are advancements to be made in such, even the building infrastructure. And the user's mindset when it comes to decentralized. Like, honestly, if you want to have your parents adopted to Web3, if you want to have them onboarded to a certain decentralized exchange, you will always choose a CeFi one, not a DeFi. Because you'll have to make them sure that this is the KYC procedure, this is the customer service contact number, and you can reach out to help if certain transaction did not went through. So I think this is the middle way that we are looking for. And in my opinion, we are a very long way away from, completely decentralization. And some parts of centralization will have to be there to properly structure the system.